Who's ready to rock? Gods of Metal RagnaROCK! We're cranking the amps and drinking from the skulls of our enemies. That's right, it's Gods of Metal RagnaROCK from Hunters Entertainment. This mind-meltingly awesome astral adventure sets players in the heavy metal fantasy realm known as Ragnarok. There should be flame or something here. One person takes on the role of the Metal Master. It's like the Game Master but metal. And players don two roles. One of their everyday boring life in the realm of mundania. Yes, really. And that of their awesome avatar in the world of Ragnarok. By leaving behind the drabble doldrums of mundania for the headbanging haven of Ragnarok, players use their unique avatars to cause destruction, mayhem, and righteousness. Setup begins with character creation. This process is divided into 6 sections: mundania origin, tone, position, skills, gear, and hearing the call. First up, a character's mundania origin. This is the role they play in boring everyday life. Whether it's a dead-eyed mortgage broker or a wiped-out stay-at-home parent, these people wish they could do anything to leave those lives for just a minute. A person in mundania shouldn't be reduced to their job, though. Players should ask themselves some foundational questions. What do they fantasize about? What obstacle in life do they want to overcome? How would they unleash righteous fury at an untimely traffic jam? Whatever their ambition, these characters in mundania have a chance to fulfill them in Ragnarok. By providing details to their character, players can find ways to fulfill their fantasy in a world of fantasy. Complete the origin by filling out each character's mundania info on the Ragnarok character sheet. Name, what's their boring ass name? Job, who's paying them to survive? Hobbies, what keeps them going? Barely. And righteous cause. If they had power, how would they use it? This could be something righteous like protect the innocent man, or something ambitious like create the impossible. You gotta do it in this voice though. No, not really. Any mantra or creed that gives your avatar a firm belief is something great to go with. Next, the tone of a character is the embodiment of their lifestyle in the realm of Ragnarok. This is similar to maybe race selection in some other RPGs you've heard of. The tones instead represent one of the major metal gods of Ragnarok. Each of the gods or tones provide a bonus, such as Shrika, who values style and charm. Finrar, whose strength comes from an overloaded amplifier, provides a bonus to Bash. And Aznababa, who wants to build the world up so they can watch it burn. Then, players choose a position. Just like a band member, each player has a role to fill in the group. Positions aren't limited to the instruments the characters play, but instead define their capabilities and their path to Milton faces. Similar to class selection in other games, each position includes a table for new features as they gain notoriety, or levels in other RPG terms. Ragnarok includes positions like Brutalizers, the warriors of heavy metal, meat-grinding, weapon-bearing, face-slapping avatars of combat. Shredders, the instrument masters who use their magical items, or electric items, or both, to change the very fabric of space-time. Their instrument is not just their tool, it's their way of life. Or Howlers, the summoners who balance their breath and focus to exclaim powerful lyrics, conjuring aid from the fiery realms, and also from their deepest feelings. After players have reviewed their position abilities, they select their skills and allocate 16 skill points into each of them, with a minimum of 1 point in a skill and a maximum of 10. Each point represents the number of dice added to the player's performance pool. Skills include Bang, Bash, Cram, Implore. Forge, Feelings, Legendsmithing, Magicka, Pharmacopoeia, Slink, Stunts, and more. Gear is an obvious one. It's the equipment of the game. More details on that are going to be available in the rulebook, but they include the obvious such as weapons and outfits, as well as the not so obvious like doom machines. Finally, a player must work with the Metal Master to discover how their character answers the call to Ragnarok. This is a thematic story where a citizen of Mundania is in a situation that sucks and at a tipping point which brings them to the point of no return. They transform into an avatar of metal and descend the umbilical spiral into the realm of Ragnarok. For real. Gameplay is resolved with RagnaROCK dice, also known as the most metal D4s you've ever laid eyes on! Many tests in the game are resolved with skill checks, applying one of the many skills on the character sheet. To perform a skill check, a player creates their performance pool comprised of D4s. This number is determined by the level of the skill, so a level 3 skill provides 3 starting dice in the performance pool. Some abilities, detriments, and other pools can augment or reduce the size of the pool. Once all factors have been resolved, they then roll the dice and count the results. For the uninitiated, the top number on the roll die is the result. All 4s are called tributes and count as a success. All 1s are called feedback and count as failures. 2s and 3s suck, don't even worry about those, who cares? Depending on the difficulty of the task set by the Metal Master, a player may fail or succeed on their task. Sometimes the Metal Master may set the level of difficulty reflective of the environment or circumstances. If you're plummeting from the back of a griffin while you're holding a Medusa in a headlock and you're blindfolded, setting the difficulty rank to 2 is going to lower the performance pool dice by 2. Generally, just 1 tribute or success is needed to accomplish a goal. However, the more tributes they acquire and spend, the more awesomeness the rank of the success, resulting in more epic storytelling action. The tribute pool is a shared pool of points that all players can access to augment their successes. It can be represented by guitar picks or bottle caps, glass beads, maybe even the skulls of your enemies. Players pull points from this shared pool to add a D4 to their skill check. Careful though, any rolls of the performance pool which generate no 4s, i.e. no successes, are called a wash. The Metal Master may determine that the player fails the action, or maybe they succeed, but in a really boring way, which is just as bad as a failure. When a wash occurs, players do get to add a tribute to the tribute pool. Even worse though, a roll of all 1s is a facepalm and results in a spectacular belly flop. Feedback rolls tally up the failures of an adventure and have to be worked off in narrative ways, otherwise they produce negative effects. This might augment your enemies or even send a player back to Mundania. Because each character has a feedback threshold, they have a limited feedback they can endure before they are flung back to Mundania, where they must live out their boring life on hiatus from adventure until a game effect or the Metal Master determines they are ready to return. Additionally, the player can choose to upend their mundane life, causing chaos in the real world with a serious detriment for their character in exchange for an immediate ticket back to Ragnarok. Additionally, abilities are the main talents of the game and the thing that makes avatars so awesome. Abilities are a combination of skills, gear, like weapon, outfit, or accessory, and features the tone and position the player chooses during character creation. These can also augment your gear into legendary items capable of their own stories and powers. And that's the core concepts of Gods of Metal RagnaROCK. Check out the full rulebook for details on combat, the major gods of metal, and much more brain-melting mayhem. I'm Becca Scott, this is Good Time Society, and you've been such a great audience, folks. If you like this video, hit that thumbs up button and make sure you subscribe, then check out all things Good Times on our Discord and Twitter feed. Links in the description below. I'll leave you with this quote from James Hetfield. Metal up your